So there I was in the greatest pizza place of all time. I forget what it was called, but it had like a flaming chicken as like a mascot logo kind of character, and their whole thing was they had all these crazy zany toppings you could put on pizza, like whatever you wanted. Most people go and to this place and they normally get like pepperoni or chicken or like bell peppers or whatever normal people get on pizza. But they had you could get like any meat you wanted, all kinds of vegetables and fruits. And they had like chocolate sauce and caramel sauce and like marshmallows and like pop rocks and runts and these little cookies with Spider-Man faces on them, and like these little candy puzzle pieces. Like that's super cool. Like food that's like meant to be played with. That is dope. And so everybody's ordering normal toppings for their pizzas, but like they encourage you to get a crazy wacky pizza. My kind of place. So this pizza place had like all the best parts of like a froyo place, but without the pretentious attitude. You know how every time you go into a froyo place, they act like they invented the topping bar. They act like they're so generous with all their toppings that they're overcharging you by weight for, and they think they're saving the world because they got gluten-free and dairy-free options. Oh man, froyo places suck, but they're so good at the same time. And I had a long day with lots of terrible social interactions. I was at a grocery store with a terrible selection, and even worse, a terrible layout. I hate when the grocery store has a terrible layout. Screw the Meijer. And at the grocery store, I ran into Teddy Graham. Not the food, the person. And I did not want to talk to him, but he, for some reason, wanted to talk to me. With a name like Teddy Graham, you know his parents are way cooler than he's ever going to be. And then, later, I was in an elevator, and there was this lady standing next to the buttons, so I couldn't push the buttons, which is one of my favorite things to do ever. So I had to ask her to push it for me, and there were lots of people in the elevator, so I got nervous, and I asked for the wrong floor, and then, like an idiot, I got off on the wrong floor, because I didn't want everyone to know how dumb I was, and then I had to walk down an insane amount of stairs to get to the street. And then, as I'm leaving the building onto the street, there was this business lady, and she just said the craziest shit to me. She goes, "Thanks for San Jose." she goes, "Thanks again for San Jose." And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Have I ever been to San Jose? Like, why? What did I do? What did somebody who maybe looks like me do in... Like, did she think I invented San Jose? And, like, she didn't even, like, say, hey, like, hello. Like, whoa, isn't it a crazy coincidence that you're also in this place that is thousands of miles from San Jose? She didn't even say, like, the obligatory, fancy meeting you here. which is a line I love. It's very versatile. It can be used ironically and unironically, whether you're meeting a friend who you really, it's fancy meeting them, you didn't expect to see them there, or you plan to meet them ahead. Teddy said it, my Aunt Kathy said it as we rollerbladed into the pizza place. It's a good line. And then, so we're at the pizza place. I just placed my crazy wacky order, and the guy's eating it up way too much. I'm putting marshmallows and whipped cream and stuff on my pizza. And the guy's like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. He's writing to me. He's like, yeah, like way too into it. And I'm listing off toppings like way faster than any human could write them down on a notepad. But I know it's fine because we both know he should just write everything but the kitchen sink on there, Like me and him are on the same page. It doesn't matter what I say. I'm getting an epic pizza. And then my neighbors showed up. I didn't know we were meeting them there, but that was planned, I guess. And Sue was like, was like, "Wow, Dylan, that's a nice shirt." And I'm like, "Well, it is a nice shirt. I got a lot of cool shirts." But it's a bit backhanded of a compliment, you know. Um, like you don't have to say wow every time I do something a normal person does. You know, I can be normal sometimes. I can wear normal shirts. And but before I could accept the backhanded compliment, which I would have, Hannah deflected it, and she was like, "Oh no, he's just on a hot streak lately." I mean, I was on a hot streak though. I had gotten complimented the past 3 days, but nonetheless, you know. So we're at the register about to get our pizzas. You know, you get like a little personal pizza, and I was excited to cry. Excited to cry. I was excited to try my crazy concoction. Um, you know, obviously it was just gonna be like not as good as I had ever hoped, but I'd still eat it because food is food. Mostly how I roll. I love to put in weird orders at restaurants, and you know, and then my Aunt Kathy would ask me how it was, and I'd be like, yeah, it's okay, you know, because I don't know how to answer that question. Like it, you know, it's good for me, but I don't suggest you try the food I like, you know. Um, and then right before I got my pizza, I got this crazy cramp in my leg that was so painful that it woke me up. Yeah, of course, the only perfect pizza place would only exist in my dreams. And I just had this killer cramp in my left calf, and and it was like if I flexed my foot, if I bent it like that, it was serious pain. So I had to keep it extended out, and I didn't know what to do because like it was getting worse and worse. Even if I kept it extended out, the pain was still building, and I was like, oh gosh, I got to do something. And it had happened before, so I googled cramps, right? And after I googled cramps, I had to Google not that kind of cramps, and then and so I know I should like drink water or something, eat a banana maybe. But I couldn't bend my ankle because the pain was too severe. So I just had to roll out of bed, and I like literally rolled out of bed and onto the floor, which lucky for me is only like a 2 inch drop. You know, score one for air mattresses. And so I crawled on my hands and knees um, at, until I felt that you know the pain was like a little bit starting to diminish, so I could stand up, and I was you know walking normal on one foot and tiptoeing on the cramped leg. I drank some water, calmed down a bit, had an epic dream. Um, Thanks for watching, and thanks again for San Jose.